They had said the dog would not work out. 3 separate people told Petra this before the adoption was final, and she had listened politely to all 3 of them, and then signed the papers anyway. The dog's name was Clarence. He was 5 years old when they brought him home, a Mastiff mix who had been passed from 3 families in 4 years, not because he was aggressive, not because he was difficult, but because he was large and required significant exercise and had, according to all 3 families' accounts, the specific personality type that some people found overwhelming. Too attentive, too present, too focused on the humans in his vicinity in a way that felt intrusive if you wanted your dog to be furniture. Petra did not want her dog to be furniture. She was a widow with a 4-year-old and a schedule that included 3-day stretches of solo parenting, and she had specific and practical reasons for wanting a dog that was attentive and present and focused on the humans in its vicinity. She had been right about what she needed. She had not known how right she would turn out to be. Elias was 4 when Clarence came home. He was 4 and 3 months old on the night when Clarence did not come to bed. He always came to bed. He had a specific sleeping position, the foot of the bed, between Petra and the door, which she had understood from the first night as the position of a dog that had assigned himself a post. He came to the post every night when the lights went off. That night he did not come. If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you are in the right place. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one. She heard him in the hallway. She was in that particular shallow state of parenting sleep, responsive to variation in the household sounds, tracking them without waking fully. What she tracked was the absence, the sound of him settling at the foot of the bed, which had happened every night for 6 months, did not happen. She heard him in Elias's room. She got up. She went to the doorway. Clarence was on the floor beside Elias's bed, his large head resting at the level of the mattress, his body still. He looked up when she appeared in the doorway, then back at Elias. She looked at Elias. He was sweating through his pajamas, not the normal sweat of a warm room, but a specific cold-edged moisture that she recognized from his previous illness, the sweat of a fever that had been building and had now peaked and was, if it followed the pattern, going to come down with intervention. She took his temperature. 103.8. She gave him ibuprofen. She sat on the floor beside Clarence and waited for it to work. The dog pressed himself against her side. Has your dog ever done something that made no sense until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. Elias's temperature was 101.4 by midnight and 99.6 by morning. The pediatrician confirmed the following day what Petra had suspected: an ear infection, the 3rd that year, and a discussion about whether tubes were warranted. They were. The procedure was scheduled. What Petra thought about afterward was the 6 months. 6 months of Clarence coming to bed, to the same position, every night when the lights went off. 6 months of the same sound at the same time, a baseline she had absorbed without knowing she was absorbing it. And then the night it didn't happen. The specific auditory absence that had surfaced her from sleep before she had consciously processed what was different. She thought the 3 families had said he was too attentive. She thought too attentive was the right amount. She told the story to the rescue coordinator when she called to update them on Clarence's placement. As the adoption agreement requested, the coordinator listened and was quiet for a moment and then said, "This is consistent with his profile." He said, "The families who found him too much were families where nobody needed the level of monitoring he was offering." He said, "He found the right house." Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Clarence was at the foot of the bed that night. He had returned to his post with the ease of something that had completed a task and was now available to resume its regular function. Elias was asleep in the next room, medicated, temperature normal. Petra lay in the dark and listened to the particular sounds of her house, the heat cycling on, the tree branch near the window, in the March wind. Clarence's breathing at the foot of the bed. She cataloged them the way she cataloged her son's temperature and his ear check results and the follow-up dates on the pediatrician's card on the refrigerator. She was a solo parent. She had always tracked these things. She had understood herself as the only one tracking them. She now understood that she had had help for 6 months. Attentive, present, focused help, sleeping at the foot of her bed, at the position between her and the door, monitoring the household with a system she was only beginning to understand. She thought, 3 families, 4 years. The coordinator had said he found the right house. She thought, yes, he had.